Welcome to Let's Talk Money, Honey, the podcast where we break down the world of investing and wealth building for women who are ready to take control of their financial futures. We're your hosts, Elise Levy of Legacy Wealth Planning.
And I'm Holly Henry of Diamond Legacy Wealth Management. We're two financial advisors on a mission to empower and educate women so they can build confidence, grow their wealth, and achieve their biggest financial goals. Investing isn't just for Wall Street, it's for you. Whether you're getting started or looking to level up your portfolio, we're here to make investing approachable, fun, and totally doable. So grab your coffee
Or your wine, and let's talk money, honey. Welcome to Let's Talk Money, Honey. We are your hosts, Holly and Elise, and today we are doing another career series because we just love doing them. They're so fun, and we get to be really specific about one career and great financial topics for that career. So, Holly, who are we talking about today?
So, we are going to be talking specifically about real estate agents. And one of the reasons we just want to talk about real estate agents is one, this is a big part of our clientele, but two, I don't feel like there's a lot of information out there financially or investment wise that is geared towards real estate agents.
And what makes real estate agents unique is their pay structure. So most real estate agents are on 100% commission. So they are not getting the benefit of the W-2 every 2-week paycheck. So their pay fluctuates a lot. And for that reason, their cash flow is unique and comes with a lot of added stress. So, Holly, what do we want to talk about first?
Okay, one, I just kind of want to talk about the importance of budgeting. And it's hard when we don't know exactly where money's coming from. It's still important to have just kind of a guideline that you're following. Just kind of wanting to know basically where your money is going. And we've got to figure out basically how you manage this cash flow. This is something that it's very important that you kind of work with your financial advisor if you don't know where money is going to just figure it out. And again, that comes within budgeting, which is, it's not a fun task. Elise and I can definitely speak to that, but especially when you're working off of commissions, which by the way, Elise and I do. So we understand to a certain extent what this is like. There are times to where it's like the money's coming in and there are times to where it's not necessarily. So we get it. And so I would definitely say you've got to know your cash flow.
Yeah, and I think obviously financial advisor, and then your other really big advocate and team player is going to be your accountant. Because as commission is coming in, you're going to want to set aside money for your quarterly tax payments, hopefully in a high yield savings tool or something that's earning interest, and then also setting aside your retirement contributions as well, either contributing them or setting them aside in an interest bearing entity to do a 1-year contribution at tax time. Because otherwise, you'll get dinged when you do quarterly payments or you don't have enough cash set aside, and that's never fun. So always making sure and looking at last year's taxes, looking at your tax bracket, whatever that is, maybe it's 24%, 32%, and setting that aside each commission is always a great strategy because then you can pull from it. You don't have to worry about putting it on your credit card or anything like that. So I kind of mentioned it, but Holly, maybe let's dive into retirement accounts.
Okay, so one of the most popular retirement account is the SEP IRA. And this is employer funded. And I'm gonna read off the numbers, so forgive me, but I want to make sure that we have it accurate. So with a SEP IRA, you can contribute up to 25% of your 1099 income, up to $70,000 a year annually, plus an additional $8,000 if you're over 50. I will say the majority of real estate agents, they make contributions after each commission that they receive. So do not think that this has to be done payroll. Do not think that this has to be done just one time a year. Now, I will say with SEP IRAs, one of the great benefits is you have up until April the 15th the following year to make a contribution. So if you are meeting with your tax accountant and he knows that you have a SEP IRA, you can specifically ask what amount would help you in taxes to put in the SEP IRA.
Exactly. And like what Holly's hinting at is those SEP IRA contributions lower your taxable income. So that is such a huge benefit when it comes to filing taxes, lowering your just what you owe, maybe even getting a return some years, and just helping manage and play that tax game, which is such an important game to play, especially when you're earning a large amount of income. And why we kind of say, the SEP IRA is so great for real estate agents specifically is because most real estate agents are either a one woman team or husband and wife, which is perfect for this app. Because when you look at the alternative, which is like creating a 401k or a solo 401k, there comes a lot of added administration fees, and you have to have a third party administrator. It's a lot more filing, paperwork, all things that are never fun. So that's why the SEP is really a great fit. And it just keeps it really simple. And then the other account that and I wanted to say, investment wise, it works kind of like a traditional IRA. You're not limited to what you can invest in. So, unlike a 401k that you're kind of limited to mutual fund selections, you can own ETFs, you can own mutual funds, you can own stocks, you can own money market CDs. You really have a lot more options when it comes to the investments inside your account, which I think is a really cool benefit as well. And then what's another supplemental retirement account they have access to as well, Holly?
So, really, when we go into retirement accounts, I just want to take a step back and say we do financial planning for our real estate agents, for the majority of our clients, because again, being a real estate agent, you don't normally have access to benefits that you normally find at another day-to-day job. And so it's essential, it's on you to plan for retirement. If you're not planning for retirement, then it's not going to be there. And quite honestly, I just don't feel like Social Security, it's not going to be enough. So this is something that you just have to do. And again, we talked about the SEP IRA. There is the traditional IRA. There's the Roth IRA. There are other options that are out there. And this is just where you have a conversation with a financial advisor and just make sure that you've got something going on, because the great thing about this is just the liquidity of it. So there's a lot of real estate agents, and I'm in 100% agreement with this, is getting passive income from owning Airbnbs or flipping homes. They are retrieving income in other ways, which we think is absolutely genius. But the problem is when you're locking that money up in real estate, it's not liquid. You're going to have to sell it. That may take a little bit. However, it is something that we definitely think with your skill set, it's a genius idea.
Yeah, and I think that brings up a great point for real estate agents and for most people. I think like when we're looking at our assets broadly, which includes real estate investments, etc., diversity is good. And so not being all locked up in one sector or one pot really helps you in the long term. And like Holly said, getting that balance so you have liquidity here because maybe you don't have liquidity here in this other investment, and kind of building that. But definitely passive income tools as far as rentals, stuff like that. Another really good thing to kind of even out your cash flow. I think we also want to touch on just protecting your income. So if you're maybe a single parent and or even in marriage and you're the sole provider, making sure that you have proper coverage, whether it's through term life insurance or whole life. We can do a whole other. We have another video on insurance we'll go over where each option is more appropriate, but making sure you're protecting your family members in case of an untimely death is really important too.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that people don't realize is when we sit down and we talk to our clients, we approach this as a very holistic view. So we are not just talking about your retirement. or your financial investment, even in like non-retirement accounts, whatever. We're talking more than just your finances or your money. We're talking about insurance. We're talking about taxes. We're talking about estate planning. And especially for real estate agents or really anyone else, if you've got a gap in any of those areas, it can be financially devastating. And so when we talk about teaming up with someone, as a real estate agent, you've got to have a good financial advisor, and that financial advisor will recommend if you need to be speaking to an attorney. And I think in all situations, a good real estate agent is going to have a good accountant too.
Yeah, and I think just when we look at the whole picture, really because sometimes you are making a lot of money, but we see time and time again a lot of real estate agents living paycheck to paycheck. So like taking that longer term view and it's like, where do you want to be in 10 years? What age do you want to retire? And taking those steps to make that possible because it is possible, but it takes dedication and, day in and day out, good financial decisions. Anything else, Holly, as we wrap up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, real estate agents, it's a hard job. You work so hard for that money, and it's important to protect it and set a legacy down the road for yourself and for your family. And so definitely, if there's any questions about this video, feel free to reach out to Lisa. And then the only other thing that I wanted to say is we have other wonderful podcasts for you of you on our YouTube channel, Let's Talk Money Honey. And then we also have a wonderful newsletter that's free every month that I definitely recommend subscribing to. And if you want to do that, you can just DM us your email address.
All right. Thanks for listening.